that same old place, sweet home, Chicago. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Howdy, hey, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, a sweet home, Chicago? Well, what I want is 6 and 2 is 8. Come on, baby, don't you make me laugh. Hey, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Oh, come on, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago?
This is In the Know for Thursday, February 11, the 42nd day of 2021. There are 323 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast. On Facebook, watch on YouTube Live, on Periscope, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Legislature still busy in Frankfort. We'll tell you about that. Also, did we dodge a bullet? Did we not dodge a bullet? There could be more winter weather in our forecast. We'll tell you about that. Plus, we'll just check in with some of our friends around the region. Let us know how it's going. We got that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling in to my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife. The beautiful. There should be the Beach Index around here. If you don't drive yourself to work, you'll know that things were particularly bad because you had to hitch a ride to the building. Would that be a way of figuring that out?
I
think that would be pretty good. She's the pride of Pumpkin Center, the heiress to the great mini burger fortune. She's Vera Wang's arch nemesis and the professional bargain hunter's woman of the year. She's Misty Embry Thomas. Hey. How's Misty?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have to put blades on your new roller skates this morning, swap them out for ice skates, and
I
get
did
to the office?
message you and say, birthday coming up, ice skates being requested at this point.
Yeah, you have, okay.
Lake Buckles is a sheet of ice out there.
But can you ice skate, though?
No.
No, okay. I didn't think you could ice skate,
I
so
could
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's it's kind of the new or the it's not the new thing anymore, but it's become certainly the thing over the last year, at least from my office. Man, you played that intro tune. My wife actually had to go to Chicago yesterday, or just outside of Chicago. So I was like, man, wait a minute, there's
It is for
snow
me.
up there too, and
Yeah.
I guess I'll just settle for going home and watch the Blues Brothers.
Might as well. There's
So-
it's on our DVR, so it's one of those staples that you should have on there. Hey, what can you tell us about road conditions in District 4 today, especially parkways and federal highways? How's it looking?
Well, I heard you mention earlier, did we dodge a bullet? Did we not dodge a bullet? I think maybe kind of, and we settled into this too, when you heard the words ice storm, did your mind not go back to 29, maybe even 94, depending upon where you are, where you're from, all of that?
Yep.
I mean, your mind goes back to that. Kind of, we were, keeping our fingers crossed we didn't have that type of scenario again, and we didn't to this point. But I think, looking at the forecast, we probably got about what we expected. From the Parkway corridor over near you guys on the western half of our area over toward Bardstown. That Parkway corridor is definitely where we saw the most problems with me anyway, to pass along. But, it's ice on the roads. And once you get south of Elizabethtown, pretty much southern half of Hardin County, southern half of Grayson County into Hart to areas to the south, the roads are drying and they're not to say there aren't slick spots, but they're certainly in decent shape.
Yeah, the roads you all take care of are going to increasingly become better. The secondary roads, county roads or maybe some city streets, are going to be hard to crack for a while. I was out last night in the 7:00 hour in Grayson County, and I observed that had the temperature been a couple of degrees colder for that period of, say, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., it would have been far worse. And the way that our temperatures are going to drop, it would have been closer to something like 2009, because those hours where we got rain last night were crucial.
Yes. And something else this morning was, there was about an hour there where we looked at speeds across the district, and we get the Google Waze data, and we're looking at those, and from about Central Time, from probably say 6 to 7, speeds went significantly dropped. We'll put it like that. So you could tell the roads were tightening up, and people did leave their house this morning. They were kind of like, "What's the big fuss?" The roads were wet, and then some people got in trouble because they didn't realize that when we get in this scenario where you're talking about a degree or two, just like that, man, those roads can go from something you could drive on to something you can't stay on at all. So, but we started to warm up a little bit, and hopefully through the day we're in good shape.
On before you go, on District 1, I noticed there was a release down in extreme western Kentucky that they have those new double lane snow plows. Do you know these? They may be the envy of all the transportation cabinet. Those look so cool. Do we have those in District 4?
We have one of those in District 4. It has a designated route that it uses, and it's Harvard and Elizabethtown, but it's primarily used on the parkways, including the WK, the Bluegrass, and the Lincoln Parkway. Those 2-lane facilities is what it works real well on the 2-lane facilities. A little hard to get on I-65 at the ramps and everything, but again, it works real well for the parkways.
That is marvelous to me. I mean, the way it looks, it's impressive. You can move a lot of snow with those.
Have you seen it deploy and be pulled back? I mean, it's like a F-14 Tomcat with the sweep wing. If you know that fighter jet, it's like, boom, man, that thing slides out and comes right back. It's really cool.
Awesome. Hey, we're looking at one of your cameras on the WK Parkway, some icicles over the front of it over the last few minutes, but it looks like the slow lane in each direction looking pretty good. So we'll continue to monitor that. And anything else you need to inform us on before you go?
Just again, I say this, I think, on every interview I do. We all know the things to do. Sometimes we take them for granted. About leaving distance between you and the vehicle around you, and slowing down. But just because it's cliche doesn't mean it's not true. Just because we say it a million times doesn't mean we should ignore it. Do those things. We're all going to be in better shape if you do.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon as conditions warrant. That's Chris Jesse, the spokesperson for the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, District 4, obviously out and about and taking care of the road conditions, and traveled some of those this morning and definitely in good shape and will be improving. We also want to say good morning to the public affairs spokesperson for Warren RECC, and Kim Phelps joins us this morning. Good morning, Kim. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
Hey, we want to say bravo. Our electricity is on, and so we'll give you credit to pass along to everyone else.
Good.
I have a sneak peek at your numbers, but I don't want to deprive you of the privilege. What's the status for the cooperative this morning and power outages? Bring us up to date.
Well, I sent out a release about 8 o'clock, and it was right around 600, 700. We are down to about 250 right now, members out. So that is excellent news, and it doesn't look like we're adding new ones. So that is excellent news. I'm happy that we have so far dodged the bullet, as you all were saying earlier.
Yeah, I mean, we were braced for the worst, obviously. We have some relatively recent history on how bad this can be. The hours last night, you heard me talking with Chris, the hours that we got rain, every hour we got rain last night, and it really didn't start to do that until closer to 6 when they thought precipitation was going to be at 1. The further we could push that back, it really helped improve our our situation. So I guess that really made it a lot, easier that we weren't gathering that weight on those lines like we might remember from history. But Kim, I also want to ask you, I mean, you're here and we want to update people, but as the hours go by, the numbers drop on the people who might be without electricity. But I want to ask you, when we see the tree trimming crews out in the warm months, how important is that work to giving us protection during conditions like this in the winter?
It's vitally important. What they are doing is trimming and getting the debris away from, or limbs, stray limbs, all that kind of stuff away from the lines, so that when something like this happens and the ice comes down, those limbs are hanging and they're heavy. That's what knocks down power lines. And so when they're out in the summer and they're trimming that, it's very, very important. That helps us be able to.
Drinking coffee today because they didn't have to get dispatched. I guess it's one of those things like the Maytag man. They're probably happy they didn't have to go out.
Right. They're always ready for an outage. You know, they all enjoy their jobs, but I think everybody's happy to be inside and warm, at least for a little while. Fingers crossed that this afternoon doesn't make it worse.
Thanks for updating us and continuing to keep us updated. We'll follow along in the outage viewer in your app and on your website. Always a pleasure to speak with you, and I know we'll be speaking with you again soon.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks so much. That's Kim Phelps from Warren RECC. And we were obviously prepared for much worse conditions than what we have received. We do have one transmission that's being impacted this morning with 104.9, but we have so many other ways that we're able to reach people now. But I feel a little bit of a weight lifted just because I was kind of expecting something worse, but fortunately that it didn't turn out to be that bad.
Right. Yeah.
I also think I said earlier that you could do a weather index based upon whether or not Beej has to drive herself to work or not. You could also do the index on if I bust out the hoodie.
Yeah.
If I bust out a hoodie, you'll know that it's.
Listen, if I've got the red kicks on,
Ooh, you went with the red kicks?
Can't even see my camera. Where's my camera?
Sorry.
And I have my boots on.
I don't think you're.
Yeah.
I had boots on yesterday, but it was more like a trial run.
Yeah.
Like I need to get used to the boots.
You break them in.
Because when you put them, I mean, they're kind of restrictive, so you got to be careful. Careful about that. So what's next from here weather-wise? Slick and hazardous untreated roads will continue throughout the day today. So if your road hasn't been treated, just be prepared that it's going to be icy because there's not going to be any way for it to thaw. Some of the roads that are getting traveled, there will be thawing not only through treatment but through friction and lane travel that will help. But we'll see 30 as the high today, a wintry mix chance, 20%, a low of 19 tonight. I don't think we're going to see that in our neck of the woods. And then 32 will be the high for tomorrow. But next week looks busy with the potential for 2 winter storms in the area. And it looks like the higher probability of the one that is going to arrive Monday into Tuesday is going to be the most impactful. So I go back to, we use 2009 as the example. It started raining about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it rained until and then it precipitated until about 2 a.m. And then the temperature went in the locker and stayed there for a couple of weeks. And that's really where the damage was. And because the ice wouldn't go away, so there was just this coating on everything. And so because it got delayed and because it rained, it was just wet for so much longer, it made it so much better. But our weather pattern as far as our temperature goes is going to be pretty similar to 2009 in that we're going to stay cold for the next few days and into next week. So what we have is kind of what we're going to have, at least what it's going to look like, although I think it's just not going to be very fun for a few days, and we don't want more on top of it. COVID numbers: 1,914 new coronavirus cases reported by Governor Beshear yesterday, bringing us to 383,032. 49 new COVID deaths. Number of deaths remaining higher than than we might have expected. You know, that the COVID deaths number jumped up a few months ago and has just sort of stayed there as a daily total. It's in the 30s and the 40s, and then we had that one day when I think it was 59. But with the way that tests are coming, like positivity is coming back down, I wonder how long it's going to be before we're going to see the death rate come back down into the teens, which is something, you know, closer to what you would expect. The rolling 7-day positivity rate, though, dropped to 7.50%, which is the lowest in 4 months. We were up at 13, 14 in that range for a while. And now to get back to 7.5 is good. Icy weather conditions, though, impacting some of the state-run vaccine centers. The ones in Lexington, Covington, and Bowling Green are closed today because of bad weather. I don't know, Misty, I've heard on your cancellations most of the morning. If you have an appointment for anything today, doesn't matter what the appointment is, call ahead.
Call ahead.
There's some businesses closed today that wouldn't normally be closed in conditions like we have at the moment. You know, we don't have mass power outages, and we don't, you know, but there's still some things that are closed. I go, interesting. That even some retail things that
doctors' offices, just workplaces. So you just need to call ahead.
Call ahead before you
Too many for us to list.
Before you venture out. That's right. The Butler County Sheriff's Office is investigating after a market on Caneyville Road, that's Highway 79, was robbed at gunpoint yesterday afternoon. The Grayson County Sheriff's Office was notified of the armed robbery at Van Buren's Market on Caneyville Road at 4 o'clock. 2 white males robbed the store, left the area traveling toward Caneyville. The Grayson County Sheriff's Office and some other law enforcement officers went to the area, and the vehicle with 2 men fled in what was described as a navy blue SUV. The vehicle was seen driving north on Caneyville Road a few miles south of the county line, and the vehicle was able to evade and get away. There's an update to the story last night. The Butler County Sheriff's Office says one of the suspects stands about 6 feet to 6 feet 1 and has dark hair. The second suspect was wearing white skinny jeans and a dark hoodie. That's a good look. Oh, wait, I'm wearing a dark hoodie, but I promise I ain't wearing skinny jeans.
Are you sure? Stand up and show us. Prove yourself.
I said, ain't. I'm not supposed to do that. I was doing that for comedy effect. I got to remember there are little ears around me that hear me. We don't say ain't. It's not. Sorry, now I'm distracted. Be on the lookout. What to tell you about? The Kentucky House of Representatives has passed a bill to raise the felony theft threshold. We told you last week it was in committee and it was likely to move forward. The legislation would increase the minimum threshold for felony theft to $1,000 from the current $500. Property thefts under $1,000 would be considered a misdemeanor, which carries a lesser penalty. The bill won House passage by a comfortable margin and heads to the Senate next. Ed Massey is the lead sponsor of the bill, said it won't lessen a commitment to accountability, and he deflected some criticism that it could unintentionally lead to more thefts in the push for criminal justice reform. That's hogwash. There's no one who studies the value of something they're going to steal and says, well, it's $501. That would be a felony. It's $499. I'll steal it all day long. It's a heart condition on the theft, and it's an intention, and you either are or you are not. And there are people, though, that take things, that will walk off with things, a laptop computer, an iPad, something that we look at and go, well, it's not exactly grand theft auto that we're talking about here, or it's not robbing a bank, or it's not whatever. It's been $500. I don't know how long, but for all intent and purposes, forever, it's been $500. And that's just not a modern standard. So I don't think it encourages theft. But hopefully what it does, for people that do make that mistake, it doesn't scar their record for the rest of their lives.
You know, my first knee-jerk reaction is, who would this really affect? And I'm going to go with that underage group that's probably picking up a cell phone that doesn't belong to them or an iPad or something, and then you're hoping when they mature and the rest of their brain matures at 25, there's a change of heart and the heart condition is better and they understand their immature ways. That's the only place I see in this that we go, kind of makes a little bit of sense there.
Yeah, there are just so many. The choices that people make at young ages, and thank goodness at age 50, almost age 50, that I'm not being punished for maybe some of the dumb things that I might have done.
Right.
Now, I didn't steal, and I'm just like, to be clear, but I don't want to be treated as an adult and a grown man as a teenager, I don't want you to judge me based upon something I might have done when I was 18.
Right. But what they have access to still is different than what we had access to still when we were making dumb choices. Now, I'm not saying that's why this bill passed. I'm just saying that's my first thought process with this change.
The bill to preserve historical racing stays on the fast track, so that continued to move forward yesterday. Kentucky reported higher tax collections in January, reported a broad increase in tax receipts last month that surpassed the amount collected a year ago, even before the coronavirus pandemic hit. State general fund receipts in January grew 6.6% compared to the same period in 2020. Isn't that a little hard to imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, we hear, things are bad, and it's but tax receipts still continue to jump up. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way. The Week in Funny Tweets coming up here on In the Know.
Hey, I just found $7 in my coat pocket.
Wow, so how should we spend this windfall?
We?
Well, you can't blame a girl.
Yeah, what can we get for $7 these days anyway?
Well, believe it or not, at Bluegrass Cellular you can get an iPhone.
For $7? No way.
Or an Apple Watch.
You're dreaming.
I guess our dreams are coming true. At Bluegrass Cellular, we can get iPhone SE and Apple Watch SE, each for $7 a month.
$7? Pinch me. Hey!
The advanced camera system, the Retina HD display, the SE has everything we love about iPhone at its dreamiest price.
And don't sleep on Apple Watch. I can stay on time, stay in shape, and stay connected with the SE.
Right. Hey, where are you going?
To check my other pockets. I want to get them both.
Restrictions apply. Shop online or in store. Bluegrass Cellular. Your community expanded.
The wake up early, do a little studying, take the dog out, finish that audiobook
until the very end,
finish that workout, then stop by McDonald's for breakfast and somehow manage to do it all before that 10 a.m. meeting meal. There's a meal for every morning at McDonald's.
Like a savory sausage biscuit and hash browns bundle or sausage McMuffin and hash browns bundle for just $2 each. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meals.
Today, successful small businesses are lean, portable, and focused. If you're running your own business, you need to stay in tune to your customers, vendors, and employees. That doesn't leave much time for processing payroll and reporting, much less the overall performance of your business. The firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart has a full offering of services for small businesses. Payroll processing, tax liability, unemployment, and financial reporting, just to name a few. Think of them like a built-in business manager, but they don't get sick and they don't ask for time off. Call or contact today to help get your business focused across the board. Buckles, Travis, and Hart, 270-259-5604, GraysonCPAs.com.
When you're feeling under the weather or concerned about your family's health, you want the support of a trusted medical provider who lives close by and is available to care for you and your family. Dr. Gregory Koo is a family medicine physician who is putting down roots in this community. With 22 years' experience, he's now accepting new patients in both Caneyville and at Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center in Litchfield. Learn more online at owensborohealth.org/KOO.
Is there a comment that constantly garners more comments because the original comment was so intriguing? I hear one every day. A comment so viable, so intriguing, that everyone is commenting on that original comment. It's the Focus on the Family commentary. A comment that resounds for families everywhere, garnering constant comments indeed.
Focus on the Family commentary. Weekday mornings at 4:30 and 9:45 on the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.
Apple is starting the Wazeization of its maps, and drivers will be able to report road issues and incidents by using Siri on their iPhone or through Apple's CarPlay. The updated app will also allow users to swipe up on the map to tap a report button to alert others to accidents, hazards, or speed traps. Speed traps are a big new addition because Apple has been previously opposed to including police warnings. Instagram is toughening its stance on hate speech in direct messages and will start disabling the accounts of people who repeatedly send hateful messages. Alexa will now share that song you're really digging with anyone. Just say to Amazon's voice assistant, share this song with a contact, and they can not only choose to listen, but send a reaction. You don't need to use Amazon Music or even the same streaming service as your recipient, as Alexa will try to find a track on any service available to you. If there's no match, you'll still get a station based on the artist's name and song title. Tech Report, Larry Olson.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him be.
Today is Inventor's Day. I love Inventor's Day.
Yes. Have you invented something?
I have.
Okay.
Pay at the pump.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Not enjoying the spoils of the invention on that, but I was more like the Tesla.
Uh-huh.
Like Marconi got all the credit, and Tesla really probably invented radio. I invented pay at the pump, but somebody else is getting all the credit.
Yeah. I feel like you all been inventing things, or at least having the ideas for quite some time.
We have, and that zombie insurance thing's going to pay off soon. We're getting closer to it.
I've really matured as
a
man as well. I used to spend Saturday mornings watching Looney Tunes cartoons, and now on Saturday mornings I watch Innovation Nation with Mo Rocca, where I stay up to date on all the latest new inventions, and I feel richer as a human for it.
Yeah,
I love it. I record it. And if I can't see it for whatever reason, I go back and watch it. And I'm such a nerd.
Anything
It's
on
true.
the horizon that you're excited
it's
about?
unbelievable.
I mean,
So these one of the things I've seen recently, which is marvelous, contractors have these pads that when they come to your house, instead of slipping those booties on, there are these. Think of them like the if you wear snowshoes, they have those things that latch onto your boots when you lock into them, kind of like snow skis. It's a mechanism that locks you in.
Okay.
Well, these are these, imagine they would be like lily pads, the size of lily pads. And when you step on them, the edges all the way around of the lily pads come up over the toes of your shoes and lock, so that you've just stepped into a pair of clean shoes that you can walk around, so you don't have to take your work boots off. Then when you're finished, you just like click your heels together and they relax. You step out of them, you put them back in your vehicle and go away. I thought it was awesome.
That's fabulous. I wanted to know how you get out of the Chinese handcuff.
Yes.
Like you can get in the things on your shoes, but how do you get out of them?
Yep.
Nobody knows.
Little new motion sensor alarms that have RFID chips in them that you can stick them to anything, like your laptop. And if it moves, for any reason whatsoever, like you could just stick it to a door, and if it moves, it sends an alarm.
Is this like also for paranormal activity?
Probably.
Sense ghost?
That's the next generation. They'll do that after a firmware update.
I thought my Popple was cool.
Your
That's
what?
pretty neat. My Popple. I don't have it on my phone, but it puts all your information on there, and I just hold it over your phone. It's like a new business card. So all of a sudden it pops up, like it airdrops all of my links.
So that's how
to
you
your
give
phone.
all the boys your number at the club now.
That and a milkshake in the yard.
Speaking of, it's Don't Cry Over Spilt Milk Day.
No, over the melted milkshake. Yeah, my husband's the one crying over that.
Whole milk around me, I'm going to cry.
Yeah, my husband would too.
And it's Fat Thursday.
Well, winning.
I do. Well, we're weighing in for Fat Thursday. I'm just saying.
I've been prepping
After
for a
Super
long
Bowl.
time for it. If there was ever an excuse to load up on sweet treats and take indulgent eating to the next level, Fat Thursday is just the ticket. A celebration of all things dough-related. This Polish tradition offers a guilt-edged, guilt-free opportunity to gorge on donuts or pączki. I don't know what pączki is. Apparently it's a Polish delicacy.
Listen,
So-
I'm still eating your lemon dessert from my fridge.
Good.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I've had 70% of it.
Couldn't say. Not seen it.
There you go.
You hit
Is it under your
somewhere.
bed?
Yeah.
It's in my
I
nightstand.
promise it's in the fridge.
It's behind one of the shrubs in the landscaping, so it'll stay
It
cold,
stays
but
cold.
no one
It is
else
so
knows
good.
it's there. The week. Happy Fat Thursday to everyone.
Yeah.
The weekend funny tweets. That mom though said, "Who needs nightmares when you can wake up to the whites of your child's eyes who is silently standing next to your pillow at 2 a.m.?"
That was my oldest daughter. Never said a word. You just felt her presence.
You just like open your eyes and there they stand staring at you, and your immediate question is, how long have you been standing there?
No, I'm like, what are you doing? Literally, this happened one night. She was about 11. She goes, when's the world going to end? I'm like, it's 2 a.m. Probably right now if you don't go back to bed.
I'll explain it to you when the sun comes up.
Yeah,
Until
if we
then,
make
go
it.
back to bed.
Lay down, kid.
Mayor the reporter said, "My daughter is asking the tooth fairy for $100 because I really liked that tooth."
Oh.
Well, maybe she's going to go on to be a really shrewd negotiator
Good
in
for
whatever
her,
profession
right?
she finds.
Some teeth are better than others.
Jesse says, "I yelled go to bed so loud that I put the neighbors' kids to bed."
It's happened at my house.
Yep.
My nephew still doesn't come over because that one night.
I guess
was
you can yell at
screaming.
all the kids in your neighborhood, like yell at your kids dinner time, and all the kids go home, and then
Yeah.
they go in and it's like, "What are you doing in the house?" "I heard it was dinner time." "Not at this house. It's not."
at this house.
And a few about the names that kids give things. We may have covered some of these, but I think they're worthy of revisiting. Lurkin Mom says, "My daughter calls corn on the cob holders corn chargers."
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
I
good.
think we should just let the 2-year-olds name everything from now on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, have those two prongs in there that go in. It looks like they would be charging the corn. Makes sense to me. Elita said, "My son calls Toys R Us Toys or Else." Let's go to Toys or Else.
I like it, Damien.
Or else I will
No,
be
I'd spank
bad
him.
for
Little Malachi.
for all time. The dad says, "My son calls pudding chocolate jello," and I'm not sure if he's an idiot or a genius.
I'm going genius.
We're going to wait it out and let you know how this turns out.
To be determined. And Valerie says, "My son calls dessert his bonus round."
Yeah.
And I think we should all follow his lead.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, and you should start with the bonus round just to get you hyped.
You think they watch the Game Show Network a lot in
Yeah,
their house?
yeah.
And now time to move on to the bonus round. Misty, your bonus round today could be Lay's wavy potato chips covered in milk chocolate.
I'd try. I would eat it. I would eat that.
This one is narrow enough that I might give it a try because it's going to have the salty sweet.
Yes.
If it's going to be milk chocolate, okay. The Lay's has enough of a crunch and the salt that it could be kind of like chocolate covered pretzel as far as the palate goes with the salty and the sweet.
You know how I make that Christmas cracker thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's I didn't think I'd like that, and I love that. So
I mean, I would try it,
this.
but
Yeah.
The Lay's waves are thick enough that they're not going to get soggy and lost in the chocolate. It's going to hold its.
Yeah, the regular Lay's probably would not. They can't hold up to the chocolate, but the wavy Lay's probably could. I'd be okay with this.
Yeah, I would try it.
Excited to learn that McDonald's is bringing back High C Orange after nearly 4 years off the menu.
Yes.
High C Orange back to McDonald's.
Yeah.
I had McNuggets for lunch yesterday, by the way.
Did you? With
Just the
all of that
McNuggets.
Supervo food at your house?
I didn't have to go home. I thought I was going to go home, and then I
You
didn't.
should bring it here.
So I was.
The leftovers, that is. So what dipping sauce do you like with the McNuggets?
I choose barbecue, but yesterday I didn't do any, and I didn't have any fries.
No, the buffalo is so good.
The buffalo is
Their
good.
buffalo sauce. with
Well, I
nuggets
had
is
buffalo
so good.
wings for dinner last night still.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So because they were good enough that
Yeah.
well, and I've been doing a really good job on the leftovers.
Finishing
in the
it.
fridge.
Don't encourage anyone else to eat the leftovers.
I got home last night and
Shut
she
up.
was eating the Columbia salad, and I said, "Is that salad still good?" She said, "Must be. It's my second bowl."
True story.
I'm like, well, okay.
Okay.
If it doesn't hurt you, then
If you don't die, I'll try it later.
fine with me. As I was walking away, though, she did say, the tomatoes are a little soggy. Like, yeah.
But I can deal with that.
I guess they probably are. And this is a neat story for Valentine's Day week. Almost 50 years later, a couple's lost wedding band is returned in time for Valentine's Day. When Karen lost her wedding ring in 1973 after a visit to her grandparents' house in Chicago, she never expected to see the gold band again. She was loading her 3 children into the car when the ring slipped off her finger. She said it was very snowy, very cold, and I was helping them get into the car. It flew off my hand and landed in the snow. Digging around in the snow, failed to turn up the ring. I came back a few weeks later. The snow had melted. Looked again, no luck. Tried a couple of other times too, no luck. Now, 48 years later, the ring is being returned to the San Antonio resident and her husband of almost 55 years, just in time for Valentine's Day, thanks to a social media post and the sleuthing of employees from a Chicago Historical Society. The trying to figure out exactly how they found it.
Yeah, where was the ring? Okay, so I'm hoping that the Ninja Turtles found it in the sewage drain.
Sarah Botka resides in the Chicago house formerly occupied by this lady's grandparents.
Okay.
6 or 7 years ago, she found a wedding ring while gardening. Inside the ring were the initials RA to KB and a date of 4/16/66, but she had never been able to identify its owner. But then she thought she might have found the owner 2 weeks ago after seeing a post on a community Facebook page from a man seeking a lost wedding ring. It wasn't his ring, but another from a Facebook group, but they kept going and making connection after connection, and they finally located the rightful owner after almost 50 years. It's just really neat
That is
story.
so awesome.
Would it be to
It's
get
just-
your ring back?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
well
still
done.
talk about, you know, I think I've shared this on the show before, but my granddad, with his metal detector,
Yes.
loved to go to the lake
Uh-huh.
when it was low in the winter and find class rings that kids had lost. Then go get the annuals at the school and then figure out a way to return them.
Oh, cool.
That has to be a neat thing. Like, if you're on the receiving end of
Yes.
that, it has to be very
Yeah, that's
impactful.
cool.
I think it's pretty neat. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
We're off and running, Kentucky. Thousands of Kentuckians have already received the COVID-19 vaccine, and more doses continue to arrive. We're on our way to getting folks back to work and getting our kids back at school. It's a shot of relief, a shot of hope. All you have to do is keep doing your part. We can't all get the vaccine at once, but we'll all get a turn. Get the facts at kycovid19.ky.gov.
Rural King's pet food prices has pet lovers going wow. Rural King has a huge selection filled with top brands including Science Diet, Purina, and Diamond. And with the pet food price guarantee, we won't be beat. And when you use the Harvest Card, get an extra 5% back on all Rural King purchases. That's 5% back on pet food, pet beds, treats, toys, and for that matter, everything else. See store for complete details. And if you find a cheaper price, we'll beat it at your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
Are you looking for something unusual or hard to find? You might just find it on HighBid.com. It's the online auction site for, well, just about everything. HighBid.com has estate sales, closeouts, liquidations, even government-seized vehicle auctions. It's easy to bid on office furniture, antiques, sports memorabilia, restaurant equipment, motorboats, even arcade games. You can search for items by name or simply see where the next page takes you. Visit HighBid.com. That's HIBID.com and find out what you're looking for today.
You may have been born to be wild, but you weren't born to be dead from a needless motorcycle crash. So when you're even just a little impaired, you do not get your motor running. You do not head out on the highway. What you do is get a ride from a sober friend, a taxi or rideshare service, or public transportation. Because you may be looking for adventure, but you're not looking for trouble. Please ride sober. Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
The 2021 Honda ATV lineup is here to prove it's possible to work smarter and harder. With the power to get the job done, the technology to make it easier, and tried and tested quality to keep you moving forward, the only thing left to add is you. Then you'll understand how life is better on a Honda. Honda recommends ATVs for riders 16 years and older and recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Rural King's Pet Food Prices has pet lovers going wow. Rural King has a huge selection filled with top brands including Science Diet, Purina, and Diamond. And with the Pet Food Price Guarantee, we won't be beat. And when you use the Harvest Card, get an extra 5% back on all Rural King purchases. That's 5% back on pet food, pet beds, treats, toys, and for that matter, everything else. See store for complete details. And if you find a cheaper price, we'll beat it at your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather. Some minor additional icing is possible in areas of southern Kentucky as we head into the afternoon. Watch out for slick roads across the region. Temperatures today staying in the 20s, and we'll watch for some gusty winds that could lead to some branches snapping across the region, especially the ones covered in ice. From the Wave 3 News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know there are exactly 216 noodles in every can of Campbell's chicken soup? Chicken noodle soup.
Really?
Yeah, 216.
Who's in charge of counting that out every day?
I mean, they know how many they put in. I'm sure there's a robot that puts in the same exact amount.
Oh, but somebody counting.
But what I'm curious, well, I mean,
One noodle.
I mean, someone.
Two noodle.
I think their quality control is so good, they know they put 216 in there. But now what I'm curious to know is, if you take one of the 216 and you tear it in half, is it now 217? Because not all the noodles are the same length when I go to consume the chicken noodle soup.
Now I want to go count. I don't think you can get 216 noodles in that little can.
Well, it would be a good project on a day like today where you
I
really
like it.
I mean, the snow is not worthy. Like the precipitation we have is not fun to go outside and do anything on, unless you just want to slide around and look like a Bambi for some reason. But that's about it.
Yeah.
So you all try that and then report back to me.
We may have some at home. And if we do,
Yeah.
I'll give it a whirl.
That's funny you say we may. I would probably bet the home on it.
Yeah, I bet it's there too. Yeah. Now, if you're looking for ravioli, apparently there was a sale the other day down at the Getting Place, and my husband wiped them out.
Okay.
And nobody in my house eats the ravioli, so I'm not sure why we felt like we needed it. But hey,
Between the
zombie
six,
apocalypse comes, we're good.
between the 6 different places that something like that could be stored at our house, I'd bet a case of beefaroni. There's a case of beefaroni somewhere.
I'll see your beefaroni for some ravioli and a Pop-Tart. Because apparently we're into Pop-Tarts too.
Mhm.
I like it.
So, so I think what we've identified here is that both Misty and I have endured the doomsday prepper phase of our spouses.
Yes, and was it a phase or is it still ongoing? Because I feel like we have highs and lows.
Mine has waned just a little bit, thank God.
Is it because you're out of space?
Yes, we're properly supplied.
But I'm going to ask the both. Have you all gone hungry?
Oh, no.
I probably should have gone hungry a few times that I didn't.
It's Fat Thursday. We weighed in. Obviously not.
Bruce Springsteen has been arrested or was arrested for DWI in New Jersey back in November, and it has come to light this week because of his commercial with Jeep during the Super Bowl, and now they've taken the Jeep ad down.
Yeah. That's what happens when you hire humans to represent you.
Yes. So I guess just make Jesus your spokesperson and everything will be all right.
Jesus Take the Wheel was a thing. Jeep. Right? I mean,
there is no excuse for driving while
No.
intoxicated. You and to be clear, I'm not so much worried about you. I'm worried about who you'll hurt.
Yeah.
When you do it. Because you may hurt people that I like and that I love and that I know. So it's not so much about you, it's what you'll do to others. There's no excuse for it.
No.
But people have done it people that you admire and respect would have made that mistake at some point in time. And if they didn't hurt anyone, just consider themselves lucky. But are we to the point now where we're going to cancel everyone for every mistake? I don't like, by the way, I'm not defending Bruce Springsteen. I don't like Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah. So I think, though, the reason I get on board with the commercial being pulled is because it was such a recent DWI. If this had been 10 years ago,
yeah,
let's hope he's changed his ways and he's not behaving in such socially unacceptable manner
Well,
anymore.
they kept it quiet since November, but it's only because he showed up in a Jeep commercial on Sunday.
But here's my thing.
That then they said, hey, how can you talk about Jeeps? You know, you're a drunk driver.
When did they film the commercial? It was probably before November or during that time. So I can see the correlation, and I wonder, did Jeep know, or they were just banking on it won't come out?
So we've not had a chance until today. We missed opportunities on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to talk about the streaker during the Super Bowl. Now, none of us saw it real time because they don't. Well, he was wearing a swimsuit.
Oh, that didn't count. I
I
saw less on Janet Jackson in the halftime show one year.
That's true. But if you see him, he was advertising some type of adult website or something like that. There's a couple of theories on why he did it, that maybe there was a prop bet. He bet a bunch of money that there would be a streaker, so that to win his bet, he went and did the streaking and realized it would be cheaper to pay the fine and win the bet and blah, blah. But I don't know that that's true. But nonetheless, you can find all about it online. But they don't, there's a picture. They don't show the streakers on television.
Yeah.
Because that gives them what they want. They want the fame and the notoriety. But apparently he had some pretty good football moves. Like he was able to escape the security guards that were tackling him. He crossed the goal line. And Rob Gronkowski at the celebration yesterday threw some additional shade at the Chiefs and said that at least the streaker actually scored.
That's not a streaker. He's in shorts and a swimsuit.
If you take the shorts ended up coming off, though, I think the longer it went, the level of undress went.
I'm just saying, as high as that
higher.
swimsuit's cut, I am sorry for
I'm pretty sure he's the
rest of what's going on.
I'm pretty sure he's a contra soprano at the moment wearing that swimsuit. Thanks a lot. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2021 nominees have been announced. Jay-Z, Carole King, and Tina Turner are among those up for induction this year.
Tina's not in already?
Nope. Other nominees are Mary J. Blige, Kate Bush, Devo, Foo Fighters, The Go-Go's, Iron Maiden, Chaka Khan, LL Cool J, Rage Against the Machine, Todd Rundgren, and Dionne Warwick. Any of those?
Tina should have been in decades ago.
I agree. I'm a little surprised Tina Turner's not in there either.
That is just
those are all the nominees. The inductees will be announced in May, and then in the fall is when they'll have the induction ceremony. So there you go. Got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
Millions of people find themselves battling with depression, grief, and anxiety. Unfortunately, that pain is exacerbated through silence. Emotional pain is often stigmatized. As C.S. Lewis once wrote, it's easier to say, "My tooth is aching," than to say, "My heart is broken." Many people are too embarrassed to talk about their pain or to reach out for help, so they remain silent, keeping it hidden inside. Burying our suffering offers relief for a while, but pain always returns. Sometimes it comes back even worse than before. As my friend, the late Gary Smalley, used to say, you never bury anger dead, you bury it alive, and sooner or later, it'll resurface. Believe me when I tell you that by embracing your weakness, you become stronger. It's a paradox. When you ignore or hide your weakness, you bear the weight of your pain alone. But when you open yourself up to someone who will listen and who can help, the power of your problem begins to diffuse. You don't have to give in to shame or embarrassment by ignoring your pain, burying it, or by hoping it simply goes away on its own. There's a better way. Embrace your pain by reaching out for help from a close friend, a family member, or a professional counselor who can help you find answers for your struggles. There is hope, but the first step is to break your silence. For more help, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Hey, I just found $7 in my coat pocket.
Wow, so how should we spend this windfall?
We?
Well, you can't blame a girl.
Yeah, what can we get for $7 these days anyway?
Well, believe it or not, at Bluegrass Cellular you can get an iPhone.
For $7? No way.
Or an Apple Watch.
You're dreaming.
I guess our dreams are coming true. At Bluegrass Cellular, we can get iPhone SE and Apple Watch SE, each for $7 a month.
$7? Pinch me. Hey!
Ha! The advanced camera system, the Retina HD display, the SE has everything we love about iPhone at its dreamiest price.
And don't sleep on Apple Watch. I can stay on time, stay in shape, and stay connected with the SE.
Right. Hey, where are you going?
To check my other pockets. I want to get them both.
Restrictions apply. Shop online or in store. Bluegrass Cellular, your community expanded.
We're off and running, Kentucky. Thousands of Kentuckians have already received the COVID-19 vaccine, and more doses continue to arrive. We're on our way to getting folks back to work and getting our kids back at school. It's a shot of relief, a shot of hope. All you have to do is keep doing your part. We can't all get the vaccine at once, but we'll all get a turn. Get the facts at kycovid19.ky.gov.
I believe you. 3 words that victims of sexual violence need to hear. Silverleaf provides free and confidential services to survivors of sexual violence, including a 24-hour crisis line and therapy. At Silverleaf, our goal is to eradicate sexual violence, but until that happens, we are here for all survivors. We believe you. Find us on the web at silverleafky.org or call 211 and ask to speak to Silverleaf. We believe you.
Sweet Annie, can I stay with you a while?
MB's point to ponder for today. Am I the only one who hasn't told anyone no more than telling YouTube I don't want to try premium?
Oh my gosh, would you stop asking already?
I thought I made myself clear. I don't want to try premium.
No, it's never going away until we try it. And then I wonder if you do try it, what's going to be the next prompt? Because that is the most annoying thing ever.
You want to try YouTube
So
premium?
is it weird that I've not been asked?
Well, you don't watch videos.
That's true.
You don't like video. You don't like to watch YouTube. You don't.
Nope. It's like a jar fly in the
That's how
house.
I learn everything.
Can't get rid of it.
And the people who want toilet seats changed in my house are grateful that I watch YouTube videos.
Or dryer parts.
Dryer parts, yeah, all those things.
I've got some others.
There are sometimes, though, I'll watch a YouTube video and I think, this jackwagon doesn't know what he's talking about.
But yeah, you watch it.
Anybody can make the video. Like, I could make the video.
Sure. Doesn't mean I'm the
I'd be like, well, so what you'll want to do here is you'll want to take a flathead screwdriver and then you'll want to take a thingamabobber, but get the you'll want to get the 220 kind instead of the 110 kind.
220, 221, whatever.
You'll need a 17 amp fuse, and then what you do is go shove the screwdriver in the breaker box.
Kid's going, I thought I was trying to learn to tie my shoe. Why is there a breaker box involved?
On television tonight, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Paul Rubens. That's Pee Wee Herman, isn't it?
What?
Yeah. Nicole Byer and Joel McHale are on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune for tonight. And then the two of you all will be happy to learn.
Okay, all right.
Well, one of you will be happy to learn, if I can get the dish thought out, that the premiere of Clarice is on tonight.
Oh, yes.
That'd be
I
her and
scheduled
Jason.
that recording.
You did schedule it?
Yes,
Okay.
that was me.
All right.
All me.
See if I can't get the obstruction cleared so that it will record.
I'll hold the ladder.
Stick the screwdriver in the breaker
Oh,
box.
no, I've done
See if it falls out.
I've got a huge workaround that doesn't involve a ladder. It involves a telescoping pole.
Yeah, that's good.
Or a blow dryer.
We've seen the ladder work.
My ladder work is solid. Today's highlight in history, this date in 2020, the World Health Organization gave the official name of COVID-19 to the disease caused by the coronavirus that had emerged in the Chinese city of Wuhan. In 1847, American inventor Thomas Alva Edison was born in Milan, Ohio. Margaret Thatcher was elected the leader of Britain's opposition Conservative Party this date in 1975. You know the lady who plays Margaret Thatcher in The Crown? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be funny to see her do like stand-up comedy? Like clearly she's an actor playing Margaret Thatcher, but she is so convincing.
Yeah. So her and the lady who plays the Queen are actually best friends in life. There's a whole TikTok thing about them, like behind the scenes photos. So it's interesting to watch.
But it's just, with the 80s, hair that won't move. It's funny to see her work in Parliament and represent the Great Britain and then go home and fix dinner.
Yeah, right.
And
the hairspray scenes were great.
Yeah, but just the whole everything she says is from up here.
Yeah,
and so
it was almost too much.
I would never disappoint the Queen. But
was the real Margaret Thatcher that strained to speak?
She no, I think it's over. I think it's overdone.
It was overdone.
But
too much.
I would just like to see her tell, hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. I'd like to see her bust into something else.
Yes.
That's what I need. The Sergio Mendes is 80 today. Jeb Bush is 68 today. Please clap. Sheryl Crow is 59 today. Sarah Palin is 57. Jennifer Aniston is 52.
Oh, honey. Oh.
Brandy is 42, Kelly Rowland is 40, and Taylor Lautner is 29.
Wow.
Gone but not forgotten, Max Bayer, Jethro Bodine's dad, was born in 1909. Ava Gabor was born in 1919. Leslie Nielsen, born in 1926. And Burt Reynolds, the Bandit, was born this date in 1936. They call you the Bandit. Let's go to Chart Toppers.
It can happen to you
1954.
if you're young at
Frank Sinatra. Fairy tales can come true. They can happen to you.
To be narrow of mind if you're young at heart.
Did you all hear enough of that?
Oh, yeah.
Really too much, but I wasn't going to say anything.
What's your favorite Frank Sinatra song?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Get Low. Was that him?
High Hopes.
Oh, okay. That's what I meant.
You can name
That's
one.
what I meant.
New York, New York's my favorite.
Okay.
Big Little Town Blues. The Drifters.
I climb
Number one in 1963 with Up on the Roof.
Just drift right into space. On the roof is peaceful.
You know when the friends carried the paralyzed man up on the roof to lower him down so Jesus could heal him? This is what they sang.
Yes.
They said, how are we going to get our friend in there? They said, we're going to get him up on the roof.
Let me tell you now when I come home.
You don't know they didn't.
No, I believe you. I think they did.
I mean, you don't know for a fact.
Easter play just got totally rewritten. New music coming.
1972. Loretta Lynn, number one.
My mom used to call me and sing this to me when I was pregnant with Eli. And then she'd hang up the phone.
The faucet is a dripping and the kids are a bawling. One of them a toddling and one is a crawling and one's on the way.
Then I'd
I didn't realize that song. I didn't realize that song was a live report from Topeka.
Yes.
I knew the song, but I had no idea that it was actually an eyewitness report. Let's go to our correspondent in Topeka. The water's dripping. Let's go to 1981. By the way, was completely underwhelmed by her Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
I think trying to do 5 to 9 was a perversion of a wonderful song.
Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets, the traffic starts jumping. With folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind.
Find me people who don't like Dolly Parton. Find me one person who doesn't like Dolly Parton.
I think that would be a great way to thin the herd. Like, we need to move people to Tennessee, D.C. We start there with that litmus test. You don't like Dolly
Parton is
you go
kind
to
of
Tennessee,
a
DC.
rallying point. I think everyone can meet around. You see
You're
what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
she
just-
is unity.
She's been
Dolly
masterful.
should be president, maybe.
Let's not go that far. I love her, but I don't know if I want her finger on the trigger.
Look what she did with Dollywood.
Or on the button. That's true.
We could move the Capitol to Dollywood.
Aerosmith #1 in 1990 with Janie's Got a Gun. Goo Goo Dolls Slide in 99. Don't Stop the Music Rihanna in 08. Ed Sheeran Shape of You #1 4 years ago today. All right, MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. You all ready? Here we go. When you're good to others, you're best to yourself. When you're good to others, you're best to yourself. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Misty Thomas, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powered by Heritage Media of Kentucky, WKHG Litchfield, Kentucky, USA, 104.9 FM, the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105, your news